Hi, I'm Dennis Woodside, CEO of Freshworks, and today I'm joined by Brent Westerkamp, Director of IT Services at Vermeer, an industrial and agricultural equipment manufacturer based in Pella, Iowa, that serves customers in over 60 countries that are essential for agriculture and for infrastructure. They've been around since 1948 and they are proudly family owned. Their mission all that time has been fill a need. Now, manufacturing IT has a constraint that most enterprise environments don't. You just can't pause the business or the manufacturing line to fix the technology. When a line goes down, the cost is immediate and it's measurable. That pressure changes what IT leadership actually means, and it raises the bar for every decision about where to invest and where to automate and when to hold back. Brent's team supports complex operations across multiple sites without the luxury of adding headcount every time the scope expands. He's had to figure out where AI and automation genuinely earn their place and where the risk of getting it wrong is too high to move fast. So that's where we're going to dig in today. What it takes to modernize IT when the stakes are operational. Thanks for joining us, Brent. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Dennis.
My first question is, IT and manufacturing used to be a lot about keeping the lights on and handling help desk tickets, but that's not the full picture at all today. So maybe you can talk a little about how IT has evolved at Vermeer and how have the expectations of the business changed?
I've been at Vermeer almost 28 years, and I started out helping install Windows 95 PCs to replace AS400 terminals. So through my career, I've seen a lot of change. But one thing, from an IT perspective that has been constant is, manufacturing is the number one priority. So doing whatever we can to enable our lines to produce product. And as we've just continued to grow from an IT organization, I was here when we had 11 people in IT. Now we're around 165. Mm-hmm. So seeing the maturity and growth of what the organization has put into just investment within IT and technology has been great. But we've become more of the center of delivering technology for the business. We used to be kind of that cost center, right, to where we had to keep the lights on and just make sure things were still running. But I've been a part of helping the transition of making us more a strategic asset for the organization. And it's just been fun to still help the company through that journey, but then also providing, the excellent support that we've been doing for the 8 years I've been here.
So, one thing that people outside of manufacturing might not understand how important technology and information systems have become to manufacturing, especially, I was looking at your catalog. I don't know how many products you have, but you have a lot of products, and they're not simple products. These are pieces of equipment that in some cases are as large as a tractor, often towed behind a tractor, and they're also very much technology enabled. So can you talk a little bit about how the importance of IT has been to creating a nimble, fast-moving manufacturing line, and how it's a lot more than just kind of keeping things up and running, but it's really integral to how you plan manufacturing, how you plan your supply chain?
Yeah, I would say a big piece to a lot of the improvements, hasn't necessarily been technology over the years through manufacturing. It's been our Kaizen practice of just, working through finding a better way to remove that waste within the manufacturing lines and ensuring that the assembly can happen as efficiently as it could. And as we now bring technology into some of those lines too, from digital instruction, from paper manuals that they had previously years ago. Yeah, the amount of product that can be produced has definitely increased the line efficiencies and being able to display metrics at the end of the lines for how the welders are doing. Just the information that's available because of just technology to help drive those efficiencies. It's fun to see how all of that drives progress.
Yeah, how much IT enables Kaizen, really, because without the
Yes.
information, how do you get better? Many IT teams today, everybody's being asked to do more with less. I think at the same time, you've got to compete with much bigger competitors around the world. And I mean, you've got John Deere in the US, but there's big manufacturers in Europe as well. How do you manage that tension between, being the kind of the challenger, faster growing but smaller organization compared to some of these giants? How do you manage that tension with not having massive numbers of people, with the fact that you still have to do very big things?
I think our relationships with the customers are very important, and our dealership network plays a huge part of that. And then us supporting the dealerships. So as we've continued to grow with technology, right, getting our dealerships more intertwined with data and technology platforms that they can use to help, manage and sell equipment, but then also from the sale of the dealership to a customer, just the products that we've also equipped our customers with to be able to manage, whether it's a single machine or a fleet of machines, has been like a large success for us over the last few years. And we don't say that we have to go compete, I would say, against like the John Deeres and some of the larger organizations, because in a lot of ways we only make a handful of products that overlap with them. We fill a lot of like niche product areas to where when there is a need that we find in the market, like we're quick and nimble to identify what product could fill that need and get it in like prototypes for customers to give us feedback on. So we have a pretty quick process, I would say, to get that accomplished.
So just going back to the manufacturing challenge, one challenge in manufacturing is that you've got IT that is providing certain level of services, support systems, and then you've got the operational technology, which is the systems that actually operate the plant floor. I'm curious as to where does the IT team's responsibility and at Vermeer, and when does that operational technology kick in? And do you see that line getting clearer or fuzzier as new technology like AI comes into the picture?
Yeah, it's been pretty fuzzy over the past years, to be honest. I do think we're in a good place to where we have things we're figuring out. Like the organization I lead is IT services. We also have another director, my counterpart, that leads our digital products team within IT. And so we have a digital products team that's aligned to our advanced manufacturing, our OT team. And we also have technical folks within our OT advanced man team. So the three of us have to really communicate well and understand how we're there to help each other. The initiatives that we have right now is we've been working heavily on getting like shop floor data collection so that we can do better at displaying metrics and have that available for the lines. So whether it's connecting devices to the network, ensuring that there's communication on what's needed, making sure that it's got proper security, that the network's segregated away from other networks, and then working with digital products on the application side. When you've got three teams, it can be complicated, but we're in a much better space than where we were a handful of years ago, with just kind of the OT team wanting to do more things on their own without IT, and trying to get them and us to work together so that we can drive progress holistically and make good strides for the organization.
Now, we have to, of course, talk about AI. There's a lot of noise and hype about AI. I'm sitting here in Silicon Valley, which is the home of the hype around AI. And everybody's got a story, but I'd love to hear from you. Where are you seeing AI and automation actually work, and where do you think that it's still in the future? It's still more hype than reality today.
We have taken the approach to really help train our team members on the productivity tools with Copilot. And the adoption rate that we have there is, according to Microsoft, one of the highest adoption rates that our account team is measuring. So from that regard, we have a high adoption rate. Now, when it comes to using AI within different tools, translations, helping get answers out of product manuals, we've done some of the, I would say, things that are more readily, easily available. From an automation too, with agents, we're definitely diving into that, but don't, again, have anything that's like something that would like set us apart from anyone else.
So I want to turn it a little bit to Freshworks. So one of the things that we hear from IT leaders is that the time to implementation when you make a software decision is very important. And in the past, the accepted norm was that timeline had to be quite long because you had to migrate from something else, and it was always took longer than people thought. And then that time, that kind of interim period, is when people start losing faith and you lose momentum. Tell us a little bit about the ramp at Vermeer when you decided to move to Freshworks. How did that work? When did you see value relative to the time when you made the decision?
Yeah, so one other significant change that we maybe have made within our organization is trying to make sure that we are getting products in internal team members' hands iteratively. So what I mean by that is trying to get some base functionality in place to where we can continue to develop and iterate on the solution just along the way. So we took about, I would say, 3 months to try to get a lot of our self-service catalog items built out. And when we released that, I would say, we continued to iterate on it and develop. One of the things too that took a little bit of time was we wanted to make sure we had a lot of our asset information imported, because if there's a ticket, right, that someone needs support with a device, having that information accurate was going to be critical too, to make sure that we could provide the right level of support. So between building out our self-service catalog and then importing our asset data, it was kind of a 3-month effort before we released it to the organization.
Last question for me. If you're thinking about talking at the end of the year about what IT has achieved, what you've contributed over the course of the year, what are the kinds of metrics or results that you tend to talk about within the IT organization at Vermeer when you're talking to your CFO or your CEO?
I would say different things. So from the digital product side, the business process improvements that they're able to deliver, there's measurements around like how many man hours that would end up saving. And then they kind of track how many FTEs, full-time employees, that would end up saving just by delivering like a new application solution, or with the Kaizen doing a business process improvement event to where we can take out wasted steps. So that's a key measurement from their side. From IT services side, we're trying to better track, I would say, uptime, because we have an external facing platform today that it's important for us to keep running. So those metrics have become more important than ever, not just for internal, manufacturing sake, but for an application that our dealers and customers are relying on heavily. We also track through Freshworks, so Fresh Service, our internal metrics for like SLAs on tickets and our customer satisfaction rate. So we didn't have a lot of those capabilities with our previous solution. A lot of those metrics were manual, but we just love how easy those are accessible within Fresh Service.
Excellent. Well, Brent, I want to thank you. When I just reflect on the conversation, I think one of the many things that's interesting is how diverse the needs are at Vermeer or the demands on the IT department, whether you're talking about the partner network and partner communications, or the manufacturing lines, or design, and then of course there's the normal corporate support that you provide. And I think that a theme across all that is it can't go down, and it has to be reliable, it has to be measurable, and obviously has to be more and more effective over time. So really appreciate the time and appreciate a little bit of a window into the manufacturing environment that you're operating in at Vermeer. So to everybody else listening, love to hear how you're navigating similar pressures. Just drop a comment below, and look forward to more of these conversations coming soon. Thanks.
Thank you.